In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Cube to visualize network information and to visualize zone information through Choropleth maps. So here I have the Roanoke model, and I've run it all the way through so all the output files are available. I'm going to come over here and look at the loaded 2012 highway network, or in this loaded network data element. And so this pulls up the highway network. And if we click on one of these links, we can see that it has the input data, but also now has all these extra fields showing how many cars or carpools or other trips use this link at different times of day and total throughout the day. So there are a few things we can do with this. If we just want to show some of the values or come up with very complex, with very precise rules for how we do our colors, we can come back here to the Home tab and say color. And then we can add a couple of fields and say, well, let's do capacity. So we have this field, capacity at level of service E is, say if this is less than 1,000, we'll give it, we'll make it, let's get like a nice, sure, that'll work. So we'll do small roads in this, and then capacity E greater than 1,000 and cap E less than 2,000. And we'll do this a darker blue. And then we'll insert one more for capacity E greater than or equal to 2,000. Okay, and we'll do this one in red. So we have these different rules that we've set for based on the fields in the network. And we can close this. And now the highway gets redrawn so that the high volume links or high capacity links show up in red, the medium capacity links show up in this blue, and then the smaller capacity links are in gray. The next thing I can do is called a network bandwidth plot. And what this does is it colors the links not only by, or it doesn't just color the links, it makes them wider too based on numeric values. So this is particularly handy for looking at volumes or other things like that. So we come over to this analysis tab, and we can say this, we have a bandwidth. So I'm going to create a new bandwidth. Let me call this total volume. And I'm going to print the total volume here. And let's say this dynamic color is, and it's based on the total volume, number of volume groups from this to this, and we can set what the different values are here. We'll go with that for now, and let's go from gray to red, apply color range, and push OK, push OK. And so now what we have here is we can see that this interstate that goes through Roanoke has the highest volume. This U.S. highway comes through here, but we can see both in color and color and volume. We can see in width and color what the volume of the road is. We can also do a link color and a bandwidth plot at the same time. So let's say we wanted to do a bandwidth, or let's do a color based on the volume to capacity ratio. So I'm going to create a different color scheme. And let's say delete these ones that we had before. I'm going to pick like a diverging, yeah, that'll work for level of service. Let's insert a few of these, and let's do it based on the PM volume to capacity ratio. If you have trouble remembering what it is, you can right-click, and it will pull it up. Yeah, so here we go. PM volume to capacity. We have R fields for the reverse direction, but Cube handles the reverse direction already in its graphics engine. So PM volume capacity, we'll say less than 0.3, and we could look up what the volume capacity ratio is for the different level of service, and we'll do this one at blue, and then PMVC greater than equals 0.3 and PMVC less than 0.8, and we'll make this one yellow. And we'll do a couple more here. 0.8 to 1. We'll make this one orange. And this one we'll do greater than or equal to 1, and we'll make this one red. And then we can delete these last two. And then close. And so now we can see the volume capacity ratio. Now this is an uncalibrated model with the trips not being correct, so we don't have a ton of traffic in here right now. But now that we have these colors in, we can come back to the Analysis tab, hit our bandwidth plot, and instead of selecting a dynamic color, we can just use the link color that's already there. And so now we can see that, okay, there's a very modest amount of congestion on this freeway that has the high volume, and there's some congestion here in this main arterial through east-west Roanoke, but for the most part, it's a pretty empty network. But again, this model is not correct because you haven't done the trip generation work that you need to do. Here I'm going to show you how to put in Choropleth maps that show socioeconomic data in Cube. Again, you could do this in GIS or whatever engine you feel comfortable with. I'm going to show you how to do it in Cube if that's what you have available to you. So what we want to do is we want to come into this layer definition window where we can pull up our transit and our other layers. But we're going to add a boundary layer. And this can be a shapefile. So we're going to come over to where we installed our model, which for me was in C projects. Here's my model. There's a folder called maps and this Roanoke TAS.shapefile. So this is a shapefile with boundaries for all the traffic analysis zones in the model area. So now that we have this TAS boundary layer in our view, we can make it the active layer by selecting it in this drop-down. And now we can do this thematic map where the values in the file are available to us there. And we can look at what's in the file by going open, and we can just open the DBF file for that shapefile right here. And here's our socioeconomic data. We have acres, population, households, workers, all the things we've talked about. We can then come in here and say, well, we'll make a thematic map, and let's first look at population or households. And we'll go gray to blue. And let's use custom colors and ranges. So we can set this, and let's just do, sure, I guess 10 is fine. And so, yeah, we can see now which zones have the most households in them. We could also figure out which zones have the most households per acre by dividing by acres. And here we'll do 5 groups and color on And here are the values or the cutoff points, and we could adjust those if we cared to. In fact, we probably should adjust them because they're not showing us very much. So let's do polycolor. There we go. 50, sure. Okay, so now we have the households per acre in each zone. We can also do things like create a point chart, with bars for, well, we can do we can do industrial and retail and that high traffic retail, so we can compare different numbers of jobs. Okay, and we'll do one for office. So this puts a little chart here at every zone showing the different values, and you can see that the downtown has different things. Let's edit this a little bit to give us different colors for different purposes. So we'll do office in green, sure. I'll do service in blue, purple, retail, orange. Okay, cool. All right, so you can see you can play with this, make it bigger, or use different colors that make it look good. But you can see, yeah, we've got a lot of jobs here in this downtown area of Roanoke. We pull the highway network back on top so you can see in context where those jobs are relative to the roadways and all the other stuff that we've done. We could pull back our total volume bandwidth. And yeah, you can see how you can make nice charts of what we have.